Buckingham Palace has moved Princess Eugenie into a frontline post at the King's Foundation, signaling an unpublicized recalibration of royal responsibilities, just as funding targets and generational approval ratings converge on a critical threshold. The surprise elevation assigns the 34-year-old princess to mentor a cohort of high-potential innovators, thrusting her from the gallery floors of Mayfair into the monarchy's most strategically watched program. Public-facing statements frame the appointment as routine succession planning, yet behind the courteous wording lie questions about internal chess pieces, contingency rosters, and future influence. Institutional insiders note the timing. The King's treatment diary restricts long tours. The Prince of Wales carries an expanding global portfolio, and slimmed-down working numbers create unavoidable gaps in soft power coverage. Eugenie's new mission arrives precisely where metrics show the Crown's reputation can rise, or stall, among audiences under 35. The King's Foundation, relaunched from the Prince's Foundation after the 2022 accession, now controls a £20 million annual programme range spanning heritage crafts, sustainable architecture, and rural regeneration. Its economic footprint extends across 40 live construction sites, 110 apprenticeship pathways, and 25 international partnerships. Board minutes seen by this newsroom confirm ambitious targets: a 35% rise in unrestricted donations by 2028, and parity recruitment between traditional skills trainees and green tech entrepreneurs. Princess Eugenie becomes principal mentor to 35 under 35, a competitive list of designers, engineers and social innovators selected from 200 applicants. Participants receive bursaries up to £40,000, on-site residences, and quarterly reviews with Institute for Apprenticeships observers. Her brief covers personal coaching, network introductions, and public advocacy, responsibilities previously shouldered by senior staff advisors. The intrigue builds around scope. Draft strategy papers reveal Eugenie's office will report directly to the Foundation's chief executive, bypassing intermediate trustees. That arrangement positions her at a decision-making nexus where program funding, media rollout, and partnership vetting intersect, a level rarely granted to a non-senior working royal. Context sharpens interest. Royal duty distribution, once shared among 15 high-profile figures, now depends on 9 after the retirements of the Duke of Kent and the Duchess of Gloucester from heavy schedules, the Sussex relocation, and the Duke of York's withdrawal. Every appointment is therefore combed for signalling value, and Eugenie's Artworld pedigree offers a marketable edge. External numbers underline stakes. According to Ipsos, April 2025, overall favorability toward royal charities stands at 71%. Among 18-34s, that figure slides to 57. The Foundation's 2024 impact audit links mentor involvement to a 22% increase in enterprise survival rates after 3 years. Visit Britain calculates that royal-branded heritage sites generated £4.9 billion last year. 18% of those visits were motivated by craft demonstrations featured in Foundation media. Eugenie's first engagement under the new mandate took place at Highgrove's Orchard Room, where she met all 35 awardees. Among them, milliner Barnaby Horn, whose zero-waste felt hats sell in Tokyo, marine biologist Emily Saka, developing seaweed composites for construction, and digital restorer Ismail Qureshi, leading AI repairs on medieval stained glass. Palace Press released a 34-second clip showing the princess examining a carved limestone capital. Within 24 hours, the Foundation's Instagram gained 38,000 followers, the largest single-day uptick since the King's coronation garden party. Then came the pivot that amplified intrigue: a seemingly unrelated Instagram post from New Haven, Connecticut. Eugenie shared images of Tracy Emin's U.S. retrospective and a JMW Turner bicentenary show at the Yale Center for British Art, captioning them bold and moving. Art speaks across time. Curators welcomed the endorsement, but observers noted the subtext. The foundation plans to unveil a transatlantic craft campus in 2026. Yale's director sits on its advisory board. The post doubled a soft launch, driving 12,000 click-throughs to the UK charity site, according to CrowdTally Analytics, all before an official press notice. Financial layers add tension. The sovereign grant covers security and court travel for working royals, but the foundation's expansion relies on private donations. Its latest report lists unrestricted reserves of £6.2 million, comfortable yet vulnerable if economic headwinds tighten. Eugenie'S corporate networks, cultivated during art market roles in New York and London, become leverage for big-ticket sponsorships. Her first donor briefing is scheduled with two luxury brand CEOs in September, both frequent buyers at Hauser and Wirth, where she remains a director. Royal watching academics question whether the post cements a de facto new tier of working royals, professionally employed, but activated for strategic causes. Historian Dr. Hannah Furness notes parallels with Queen Victoria's daughters, who balanced court duties with hospital patronage amid staffing shortages. Yet today's scrutiny is relentless. Each role must justify expenditure, measurable ROI, and social value. Opposition voices caution against mission creep. Republic UK argues that mentoring could be outsourced to sector specialists, without hereditary privilege. The foundation counters with employment statistics. 78% of craft apprentices move into full-time roles within 6 months, one of the highest progression rates in the skills sector. Meanwhile, Eugenie'S personal timeline compounds curiosity. She is mother to sons August and Ernest, resides at Ivy Cottage, and maintains a part-time transatlantic schedule. Balancing maternal duties, gallery leadership, and an intensive mentorship role will test bandwidth. Aides insist the princess welcomes the structured challenge, planning remote sessions from New York using encrypted conferencing. Inside Buckingham Palace, the move is viewed through the lens of succession optics. With the king limiting travel during treatment cycles, and the Prince of Wales covering state tours and defense patronage, visible younger royals help diffuse headlines about reduced numbers. A senior courtier describes Eugenie'S deployment as proof of bench strength, language that hints at contingency thinking should further health constraints emerge. Not all intrigue resides in spreadsheets. Industry whispers suggest the foundation's board considered Princess Beatrice for a fintech skills brief, but postponed after private equity partners requested more due diligence. By contrast, Eugenie'S appointment rolled through unanimously, signaling high confidence in her fit with heritage arts programming. What happens next carries real implications. In July, the princess will accompany the king to Dumfries House Summer School, introducing apprentices to visiting ministers from the Gulf Cooperation Council. Those governments weigh multi-million-pound bursary funds. A strong impression could unlock overseas endowments, expanding the charity's model into Middle Eastern heritage sites. Analysts also watch the clock on impact review. A midterm evaluation, due in December 2026, will measure job creation, enterprise turnover, and social media reach. If KPIs lag, critics may claim tokenism. If targets are exceeded, Eugenie'S stock inside the family could surge, positioning her as default envoy when arts diplomacy calls for a royal face. Numbers will tell. Foundation website sign-ups spiked 9% in the first 3 days post-announcement. Corporate inquiries for event sponsorship rose from 14 to 33 inside a week. Donor tracking shows a £450,000 pledge pipeline directly attributed to Eugenie'S meeting follow-ups. Beyond metrics lies the human element. Apprentice Sophie Koo, a 27-year-old glassblower from Sunderland, says the princess speaks gallery and workshop fluently, a rare combination. Such testimonials feed narrative. Effective storytelling converts casual viewers into long-term supporters. Questions loom. Will Eugenie's growing profile overshadow cousins also keen on deeper roles? Could the Duchess of Sussex's media projects cast competing light on modernized philanthropy? Does the sight of a York princess revitalize family unity or revive old controversies? For now, palace communications emphasize momentum. A summer party speech at Buckingham Palace will mark Eugenie's first formal address for the foundation. The script, insiders confirm, ties craft heritage to digital frontiers and trails a potential UK-US youth exchange initiative. Live stream cameras are booked. Audience retention will be monitored across YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram in 15-second increments. The next testing ground is September's London Design Biennale. Eugenie joins the Foundation's stand showcasing awardee prototypes, algae-based textiles, AI-restored tiles and solar-kilned bricks. International judges include tech investors scouting sustainable IP. A licensing deal clinched on the pavilion floor could translate mentorship into commercial validation overnight. Amid the forward momentum, the King continues light duties while doctors analyze mid-year scans. Any medical escalation would intensify reliance on dependable junior ambassadors, making Eugenie's early performance critical. Media interest aligns with these contingencies. Fleet Street editors brief correspondents, track attendance stats, capture off-mic exchanges, gauge partner enthusiasm. A sluggish response could shape headlines of youth drive stalls, a buzz-heavy exhibition might read, Princess's program supercharges royal relevance. Diplomats also watch. The Foundation's campuses host 120 students from Commonwealth nations annually. High Commission briefings underline that each graduate returning home becomes an informal envoy for UK craftsmanship. Eugenie's role therefore influences soft power reach beyond national borders. The story's final act, for now, belongs to the numbers still forming. Website dashboards tick upward, donation pledges await confirmation, apprentice surveys compile baseline morale. In 6 months, auditors will ask whether the appointment delivered tangible benefit or merely favorable headlines. Until that verdict, curiosity and scrutiny remain high. Viewers tracking the monarchy's adaptation will hold attention on the next milestone, the garden party speech, the funding reveal, perhaps even pre-launch hints of a North American craft campus. Each development will contain fresh clues to the evolving power map inside the House of Windsor, and to the Crown's strategy for retaining public engagement in a critical demographic. Our subsequent report centers on Trooping the Colour, where royal health updates, parade ground optics and the choreography of airs will test the balance between tradition and renewal. As with Princess Eugenie's new brief, the stakes rest on performance, perception and the delicate art of sustaining intrigue while delivering measurable results.